Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Rainy day today, so I figured let's finish up talking to you guys a little about the auction process from buying this car. It really technically isn't a salvage car. This car was a Cars for Kids or some type of donation car. Somebody wanted to get rid of it, get a tax write-off. And now I own this beautiful 1991 Toyota Celica. It was all a bit crazy. I've never bought a car at auction before, so I figured this would be a good one to try. It was cheap. Well, cheap until you work in the auction fees and the broker fees. It allegedly would come with a clear title if I can get one. I figured that was one hurdle I don't need to jump over in the first time buying a car from an auction. And I know it's not the greatest thing out there, but it is a sports car, convertible. All right, sporty car. Okay, it's a sporty car with a manual transmission, and it's a convertible. It definitely, you know, I wish I was like this. It shows really good in pictures. You take a picture of that car, and it looks good. You look at it up close, that's another story. I mean, it doesn't look too bad right now because it's raining, but it really hides its damage well. I mean, there's not a ton of damage, but anyway, this really isn't about the car. This video is more about the process. So you can see in my prior video, there's a video I've got on there. I'll link it, about the auction process. My first time, shows the cars I bid on and how I ended up on this one. Now, before I really started working on it, I wanted to make sure I could title it and register it and not have a problem, because I never really saw this paperwork with dealer reassignments and things like that before. And again, that's part of why I wanted to do this. I want to figure it all out, right? So right away I had a problem. Car got delivered. If you see the Sellica video, I'll go ahead and link that as well. The tow truck driver, well, the ratty, barely held together flatbed trailer driver, gave me the title with the dealer reassignment. Now, what I know now is that should not have happened. IAA, is where it ended up coming from, was not supposed to give me the title and dealer reassignment, I think. It should have been sent to Cars for Bid, who is the broker that I used for this. But I didn't know that. So, you know, I got a title from New Jersey, original owner title, by the way. So it was an original old title. I've got a dealer reassignment from like Minnesota. And on the dealer reassignment, the current owner section was filled out with some dealer from Georgia. And I kind of right away had a feeling this might be a problem, right? So so I figure, well, let's go see what happens. So I went down to our local New Jersey DMV. Nice lady there. I've actually had really good experience at DMV lately. Everybody's a lot nicer than they used to be. I think they it's like the post office, like, you know, like you know, mailmen don't shoot up things anymore. DMV, they're a lot nicer than they were back when I was younger. So anyway, that's completely off topic. But I go down there and the lady's like, "Oh, is this you, this dealer?" I'm like, "No, I'm not a dealer. I have no idea what I'm doing." She's like, "Well, you need another dealer reassignment from this dealer reassigning it to you. So I need New Jersey title, this dealer reassignment, and then another dealer reassignment. And once I come back with that book of paperwork, maybe I could get a title." So I wasn't all that upset, because I kind of had a feeling it was going to be a problem. So what I did was I called up Cars for Bid, who told me to send them an email, and they informed me, hey, you weren't supposed to get that. You need to send that to us. So, okay. So they gave me an address to send it to, and it wasn't like mail to Cars Forbid. It was like somebody's name at a condo in Georgia. It's like, okay. I did a few back and forth emails to make sure this was legit, because none of it seemed legit at this point. But I kind of understand what happened is that the dealer, I mean, they never really spelled it out, but the dealer listed on the dealer reassignment is the dealer Cars Forbid does their business under. So they need to get that paperwork and then fill it out, because they're the ones technically buying the car, and then reassign it to me. So in essence, they bought it and they resold it to me. That's where all their fees come in. So, okay. So now the only thing I have showing proof of ownership, I've got to shove in a little envelope and mail it off to somebody's condo in Georgia. Okay, let's do it. What am I going to lose? I mean, if I'm parting this thing out, I'm parting this thing out, right? So I send it off. I didn't really hear anything. Took about a week or so. They said they're working on it. Another week goes by, maybe less than a week, and I get an email. I have to fill out a bill of sale from Florida. We're on like our 4th state by now. I'm like, all right, what the hell? We've already rolled the dice. What's another roll? So I filled out this paperwork. I sent it back. Another week or so goes by, and of course, when I'm not home, the title shows up. I have the title back. I've got the reassignment that I had received from IAA filled out, and now I have another reassignment. Okay. So, at this point, I'm like, well, let's make another appointment at DMV and see what happens. So I go down with all this paperwork. Another lady, super nice. She was like, wow, I haven't seen this title in a long time. I mean, it's 30-something years old, so I get it. One of the old school titles. I give her all my paperwork. She doesn't really bat an eye. She seems to think everything should be good. All right, well, we got a title. Woo! It went through a lot of work, and it cost me way, way, way more money than I thought it was going to be. It worked. They gave me a title in my name. Clear title, which is nice. The only thing I really had an issue with was I had to pay sales tax on the car. And I'd like, if anybody's gone through this process, I really would like you to comment below and let me know if this is correct or if I got hosed. I got charged sales tax on not only the bid, like I paid $500 for the car, but I also paid sales tax on the IAA fees and the broker fees from Cars Forbid. The people at the DMV agreed with me that didn't seem right, but that's what all the paperwork was filled out for, and they're like, well, you'd have to get this all redone and resend it. And at that point, I was just like, nah, that I'm not going through all that. I just paid it. I mean, it wasn't a terrible amount of money, but it was enough to be like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, so I ended up with a title. Just, I'll throw some video on after this, just kind of going through the process. And now it's time to start working on it. Now that I've got a title in my name, I've already done a little bit, but we're gonna dig into it. You can see there's some stuff in the background, some shiny stuff. We're gonna get this thing running and driving in the next video. I just wanted to do this short video to give a little insight to anyone else who's new to this salvage process, because it was something. It was different. Yeah, so the one thing I'd say I learned from this whole process, the salvage auctions, these kind of auctions, they're not worth it for a cheap car. Because by the time you pay all the fees and everything, and it would be less if I, had my own account, but that cost money. And if I went and picked it up myself, delivery wasn't terrible. It was probably a couple $100, maybe $300. When you add the labor and everything in and the time, it wasn't that bad. And I don't think you can just go like send a flatbed there. Maybe you can. I know people go get them their own on trailers and things, so who knows? Who knows? But it was like money well spent, if that makes sense. But like on a cheap car, you're just gonna end up paying too much money. Like I paid too much money for this. I know I did. Will I make any money on it? I'll make something. It's not going to be a lot. It's not going to cover my time. It's barely going to cover my parts. But a more expensive car, like that Porsche that I was looking at, yeah, I think it makes more sense then, because there's, as they say, more meat on the bone. Or if you're doing the car for yourself, you know, the nice thing is with that Cars for Bid site is you can, the costs weren't a surprise. You can figure that out ahead of time, and they were accurate. Like they didn't stray from that. So I appreciate that. You know, it's not like there were hidden costs or fees or anything like that. The only thing that was hidden was the sales tax, which I knew I was going to be paying sales tax on the car. Now, obviously, if you're a dealer, you don't pay that. But I didn't think I was going to be paying sales tax on the fees and all that, because the fees and everything were twice as much as the car. But whatever. I mean, it's been a fun learning process. I'm happy I did it. And I'll probably do it again, but on something a little more expensive. I think I'm going to stick to Facebook Marketplace for the cheap beaters and things like that. And I've got a few on save, of course. I just don't have any room to keep them, which is keeping me from buying them. Thanks for sitting through and watching this. I hope you learned something about the salvage auction process from the mistakes that I made, or just what I learned. You don't learn without making a few mistakes. I don't think I made any crazy detrimental mistakes, but you know, that's how we learn, right? It was definitely fun, and like I said, I will probably do it again. So love to hear some comments on people who have done this and what I did wrong, or maybe some suggestions for things to do different next time. So hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, you know, it really helps if you hit that like and subscribe button. It helps me with that. And if you put a comment, and hey, if you don't like what you see, put a thumbs down. I like all feedback. So hey, thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm going to start putting up some videos on the repair of this. It's not going to be a lot, because we're not going to do a ton to this car, but you know, that's a great reason to hit that follow button, so you'll get some notifications when these videos do come up. So thanks again. Have a good one.